Hello and welcome to the history of movie theaters and drive-ins for the Atlanta area for 1980 to 1989. Here are the movie listings for 1980. (1980) In January, a crackdown on adult cinema forced the Classic Art, Cine Showcase, and the Far Out cinemas to close. The Cinemas 75 in Marietta is renamed Franklin 3 as AMC takes it over on May 9th. On July 18th, the old Buckhead Theater reopens as Cinema and Drafthouse. Story Theaters opens the Shannon Cinemas with 4 screens in Union City on August 1st. On September 17th, George Leffant takes over the Terra Theater from Lowe's. The Rhodes Theater stops showing movies. The GTC Lenox Square Cinemas expands to 5 screens. General Cinemas adds an 4th screen to the Perimeter Mall Cinemas. Eastern Federal Theaters sells the Baronet and Coronet to new owners. 1981. The Georgia Theater Company expands the Starlight Drive-In to 4 screens on March 27th. The Old Film Forum reopens on April 6th as the Bijou. The Greens Corner 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 in Norcross is opened by the Georgia Theater Company on July 24th. The Town and Country Cinemas expands to 3 screens. A crackdown on adult cinemas in Fulton County closes the Ashley Art and Playmate Adult Cinemas. The Baronet and Coronet closes. 1982. The Dorville Theater is renamed by Septum Theaters as the Saloon and Cinema on March 12th. The Old Martin Cinerama downtown reopens as the Columbia on June 18th, showing second-run movies in 70mm. The Excelsior Cinema Pub opens on July 16th. Septum Theaters opens the Memorial Drive Cinemas in Stone Mountain with 5 screens on December 8th. George Leffant reopens the Ansley Cinema at Piedmont at Monroe Drive on December 24th. The Plaza Theater stops showing adult movies. Story Theaters takes over the Lowe's 12 Oaks Twin and the AMC Franklin 3 in Marietta. These cinemas closed in 1982. 1983. On June 17th, the Conyers Cinemas is opened with 4 screens by Septum Cinemas. The Lenox Square Cinema is expanded to 4 screens by the Georgia Theater Company by splitting up one of the screens. The North Druid Hills Cinema and Drafthouse opens. Story Theaters takes over the Toco Hills Theater. Interstate Theaters expands the Roswell Cinemas to 5 screens. The Mableton 3 is renamed the Mableton Family Cinemas, as Septum sells it to Showman Cinemas. Litchfield opens the Covington 8 in Lithonia. The Cine Showcase is renamed Sunshine Adult Cinema. The Douglasville Twin is expanded to 3 screens by Septum Cinemas. These cinemas closed in 1983. 1984. Septum Theaters opens the Cummings Cinemas with 3 screens on April 20th. AMC opens the Galleria 8 on May 6th. In Tucker, the AMC Northlake 8 opens on May 22nd. Story Theaters expands the National to 6 screens on June 17. Flit Theaters opens the Mall Corners 6 in Duluth on June 29. The Ellis Theater opens in August. General Cinema opens the Gwinnett Place 6 in Duluth on October 29. Story Theaters opens the Shannon 8 in Union City on December 21. Septum Theaters expands the Lawrenceville Cinemas 3 to 4 screens. The Snellville Cinemas is opened by Septum Cinemas with 5 screens. These cinemas closed in 1984. 1985. Septum Theaters opens the Memorial Drive 4 at 6202 Memorial Drive in Stone Mountain on February 8. The Georgia Theater Company opens the Southlake 8 in Morrow on April 12. The Shannon Cinemas in Union is expanded by Story Theaters 4 to 7 screens on May 24. Septum opens its last theater, the Holcomb Woods in Roswell, on June 21. Flit Theaters opens the Memorial Square 6 in Stone Mountain on June 28. Cineplex Odeon from Canada buys 50% of Flit Theaters on August 17. On November 1, Leffant opens the Penthouse Cinema at the Plaza Theater. The Terra Theater expands to 4 screens by Leffant Theaters on November 2. These theaters closed in 1985. 1986. United Artists buys out the Georgia Theater Company, with the president of GTC in charge. Eastern Federal sells their cinemas to one of their employees, Mr. Chappelle, and renamed the chain Chappelle Cinemas. In March, Cineplex Odeon buys out Septum Cinemas. Story Theaters opens the Town Theaters in Kennesaw on May 23 with 8 screens. Cinema Centers expands the Roswell Mall Cinemas 5 to 10 screens on August 1. General Cinema opens the Merchants Walk Cinema 8 in Marietta on October 24. Cineplex Odeon opens the Fridays Plaza 6 in Doraville on December 19. UA expands the Cobb Center in Smyrna to 6 screens. These theaters closed in 1986. 1987. Cineplex Odeon opens the Southlake Festival 6 in Morrow on April 17. Story Theaters expands the National Theatre in College Park to 7 screens from 6 on May 22. United Artists opens the CNN Cinemas 6 on June 5 with 1 screen showing Gone with the Wind and a second screen showing classic MGM movies. The AMC Cobb Place 8 in Kennesaw opens on June 5. Indicator, Cineplex Odeon opens the Market Square 4 on July 24. On August 7, the Douglasville Exchange 3 is opened by Cineplex Odeon. Cineplex Odeon opens the Merchants Exchange 5 on August 21 in Marietta with Cineplex founder, Graf Drabinski in attendance. On September 23, Interstate Theaters buys out Leffant Theaters with George Leffant in charge of all interstate theaters in Georgia. Story Theaters opens the Lakeshore 4 in Gainesville in October. December 11, the Midtown 8 is opened by Interstate Theaters and George Leffant. These theaters closed in 1987. 1988. The UA Movies at Gwinnett Place 12 opens on February 12 in Lawrenceville. The Parkside 8 is opened by General Cinema on May 20th. Cineplex Odeon opens the Festival Cinemas 6 in Stone Mountain on July 22nd. The West Park Walk in Peachtree City is opened on August 5th by Cineplex Odeon. In Kennesaw, the Town Center 6 is opened by Cineplex Odeon on August 12th. This ends the Cineplex Odeon building boom. Litchfield Theaters opens the Austell Road Cinema in Austell on December 9th. The Hairston Village 8 in Stone Mountain is opened on December 9th by General Cinema. These cinemas closed in 1988. 1989. Story Theaters expands the 12 Oaks Cinemas to 4 screens from 2. Litchfield Theaters opens the Riverdale Cinemas in Riverdale with 10 screens on September 15. The Peachtree Corner 11 is opened by Litchfield Theaters on December 15. These theaters closed in 1989. Thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe.